So I'm practicing right now. This is a fun little exercise. Oh, that hurt. That was not, ouch. This is a little exercise I like to do. I don't really call it anything, but I'm gonna call it something to tell you about it. Let's call it shape shifting. I'm just gonna take an idea, like the first idea that comes to me, and identify it as a shape, and then my challenge to myself, like the game is to take that idea and move it around throughout the changes. Now there's one catch here, and see if you can pick up on what it is. Let's see if it's gonna work. Did you catch it? So I'm playing Stella by Starlight, but I'm only playing the first 8 bars. And what I've done is make a loop of just the first 8 bars. I love doing this. I'm working on this with my students a lot recently, both my college students and those in my studio. We're working on this in the studio with Summertime and a great solo over Summertime, but I'm also always personally fond of working at things like this. It gives me a restriction to play with. It makes it like a game. So I'm improvising, I'm making things up in the moment, yes, but I have a bit of an agenda, and it keeps me from doing this. Now hold on, I'm gonna do something, and then you might have a thought about it, but I'm gonna address it. It keeps me from doing this. It keeps me from just, I don't want to say totally mindlessly rambling. Like that kind of playing has a place, I for sure. But this just allows me to slow down and isolate things and go, all right, wait a minute. Like, how can I take a small melodic cell and sort of force myself to be as musical with it as possible? And also, it sort of puts me in a position where I'm trying to get ahead of myself in a good way and hear like, okay, I just played a thing. Now what's coming next? Can I anticipate the harmonic activity that's coming next, the chord changes? And can I sort of, send this idea into the future a little bit? So I'm letting my ear guide me. That's number one. And then I'm letting my knowledge of harmony support me, supporting the ear first decision. Then I'm letting my fingers get me there, kind of execute the idea, sort of, I imagine a shape, and some of it is like my ear hears an idea, and my, like I said, my knowledge of the harmonic landscape can sort of support that decision in terms of note choices. But ultimately there's this kind of amorphous gray area that is the shape, like notes that are close together, notes that are far apart, things like that. So my fingers then have to get me there. And then fourth, my ear is the judge and jury. It assesses what I just played, and I go, did that hit the sweet spot or not? And if, keep trying, try again. So this is a really powerful exercise. Like I said, let's call it shape shifting. Why not? And those are the 4 ways I go about it. Now, speaking of harmonic knowledge, another benefit to shrinking the song, in this case, Stella by Starlight, which has a lot of twists and turns, some potholes, perhaps a few, what's not grenades, landmines, if you will, waiting for us. Not the least of which is the first darn chord, right? Just right as we get into it, that first half diminished chord, that minor 7 flat 5, which we know is a Locrian scale. or is it? So a Locrian scale, I'm going to speak tenor key. For me, it's F sharp minor 7 flat 5 is the first chord. So that would mean it's a G major scale starting on F sharp. Right, so if I played that, it would sound like this. Oh, do I have keys here? It would have a flat 9. You hear that rub? But now let's listen to the accompaniment that I'm playing along to and listen for that. I don't know that I hear that, do you? Ah! Aha! So this particular musician, the piano player in this case, is playing a natural second. So it's a Locrian sharp 2 scale. This is what I mean about the knowledge, harmonic knowledge supporting the ear. Now I have some different choices to play with. This tells me it's not a Locrian scale. It's not the 7th mode of G major, but instead it's the 6th mode of A melodic minor. So here's A melodic minor. If I play that scale beginning from its 6th degree, aha, there I get my Locrian natural 2. You might say Locrian sharp 2, I don't know. Or I could think of it as the 4th mode of melodic minor, and that would give me D dominant, D Lydian dominant. And from there, I could also think, oh, well, I can then play the bebop scale over that, like a Lydian dominant bebop scale. Is that a thing? Why not? And then I can also just articulate that scale from bottom to top as a chord. That is, for me, F sharp minor 7, flat 5, with a natural 2nd or a natural 9th, all the way up to the 11th. That's just one chord. Then we get to the B7 altered, or it could be either diminished. It could be altered. It could be like, you know, that other thing. Like what, 5th mode of E harmonic minor? It can be, you have choices with the dominant chord more so than others. And then we get into the more regular 2/5s. So that knowledge of the chord tones, knowledge of the scales, that's what I mean. It's supportive to my ear, but I'm letting my ear go first and just, like, that's secondary. The first thing is I'm just listening and going, it's like this. Oh my gosh, I gotta turn these notifications off. I hope that didn't just come through. Messing up my singing here. There's my first idea that I came up with. Right? If you start with your ear, you don't have to like hide behind the instrument. You also don't have to get stuck behind the instrument, and you really get to a more of a pure place of like the music that is truly inside of you, or frankly, what you're able to hear right now, which is also arguably going to be better because it's coming from the right place. So it's this back and forth always. Like you're working on the craft of the instrument, you're working on the craft of understanding harmony, theory, etc., and your ear and developing your ear. But by shrinking the song down to this amount. And if you're a stablemate, if you're in my studio, I'll leave links below to those lessons. I have a whole set of lessons more on Stella by Starlight on different parts of this where I'm doing similar things, and there's a bunch of these exercises. And on some of the other songs in the Using Tunes for Improvisation course, they are in there as well. But specifically on Stella by Starlight, those are really great ones to work with. and obviously this month we're working on some material over summertime, but it's similar. We're taking, instead of a whole solo, it's just a piece of a solo. Instead of a whole song, it's just a piece of a song. So I'll leave this link below for you of just the loop that I'm working with for you to play around with. You can use just anything like Logic or GarageBand or Pro Tools or Ableton Live or software apps like Amazing Slowdown or Transcribe. Or there's so many tools out there now for doing this kind of thing, but the point is just make a small loop, and then make music and find more deeper understanding with that small loop. See, just by doing that small amount, I'm really hearing it. Bo-da-da-da. I'm like going, okay, I'm gonna do this little small cell. It's gonna be chromatic. Can I hear the next one? Can I hear the next one? Can I hear the next one? And obviously I'm resting in between. So it's a great practice. It's a great, it's play practice. Like you're practicing, but you're playing at the same time. I find that to be really effective and fun. And, then eventually it's like, okay, you do that for a while and then maybe I'm gonna like, let it kind of just get loose a little bit. That was wrong. It's so easy to just like go there. So I have to like, no, pull it back, pull it back. That game, just making it that game. It's fun that way. You get a lot out of it. So, give it a try. See how that goes for you. And like I said, I'll link in the description below to some lessons in my studio that go deeper on that subject. Hopefully, those of you in the studio are following along with what we're doing on summertime this month. And I'll see you in the next one. That's what I'm asking you. How do you do your work? What is this? Who's on first?
Oh my gosh.
Hudson, do your work. Hudson, sit.
Hi guys.